Hello, hello, hello. We're back
Hello.
for another one.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello.
We got the Belle Collective, Season 7, Episode 6, Dearly Belle Loved. Or Loved. Is it? Dearly Belle Loved, okay? And what would you rate this episode?
I'm rating this episode about a 7.
Okay, I would say about the same. I thought it was a pretty good episode, even
Mm-hmm.
though I had to watch it a couple times
Mm-hmm.
just to try to remember some of the stuff. Oh God, I hate this. I'm pausing. Okay, but yeah, just to get it to retain.
Right, exactly.
I'm like in my old age, it's hard for me to remember a lot of things. I think I don't know. Uh, So yeah, I thought the episode was pretty good. The best part is to me, Tisha, I guess, coming out to her husband, said that old girl is gone. I,
Basically.
yeah, so
And which we already knew that, which because when she sat down and told him she wanted to be celibate, like
yes,
that's a big message.
yeah, so she's putting the action there, honey. I thought, okay, now go ahead, Tisha.
Mm-hmm.
I was I like that, and you can tell that he's a chauvinistic person, because it seems like he about out the door now.
I don't know if it's chauvinistic more so than just kind of like
Controlling.
having that old school mind frame. And at the same time, I think anybody, because I think we really it looked different, but we saw the dynamic change between Nene and Greg. Um, and I'm saying that to say when the husband is the breadwinner and taking care of the family, and then it flips, and now the wife is. Now I'm not saying that Leticia has become the breadwinner, but Leticia has gotten some fire up under her. You know what I mean? Like where
Yes.
she's about to, go out and get it. And with that being said, it's just flipping the dynamics. And so,
Yeah.
I think, and like going to the whole thing with any relationship, when you flip the dynamics, it's going to be some type of shift. I think with husbands and wives, it just look different, especially if the husband is not able to come around. Because I would think that Cliff would be more the way he is, the way Glendale is. But
Yeah, but
Cliff is like that, but still allows, or at least that's the way it looked.
yeah.
'Cause they tried to say he was beating on her.
Oh, really?
Yes, honey, a couple seasons ago.
He was smacking her head in.
Yeah, yeah, they tried to pull that. I'm just saying Cliff feels like the way he speaks, he gives me more of a chauvinistic attitude, right?
Mhm.
Um and so for him to allow Treese, like to just kind of shine and do her thing, it's interesting that Glendale, is having such trouble.
Well, I think because Glendale wants to really control her. I
Yeah.
don't think that Cliff wants to do that.
Yeah.
I think that Glendale is insecure.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't think it doesn't feel like Cliff is insecure about anything,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
when it comes to their marriage. And now the backstory on Letitia and Glenn, were they together while they were in high school?
Yeah. So I think it was the last episode that's when she was talking to Tisha from Love and Marriage Huntsville. She had her as her first guest on, her talk show that she's filming. And so, yes, they are high school sweethearts, got married.
Yes.
Um, and she never had a bank account, he took care of everything, and that's just kind of where they at until now, I guess.
I feel like he probably feels that she will outgrow him.
Well, she
Mm,
probably already has.
well, that's what, and that's what
Yeah.
he's learning in real time, or he's
Yeah.
afraid of that.
Yeah.
'Cause as long as he had control of her, and she was always going to back down and and
Mhm.
make herself small for him to be bigger. Uh,
Mhm.
so if she's not doing that now, I don't. I think he's probably going to try to find someone else that will
Well, it
let him
seemed
do
like
that.
he was already doing that, right?
But it just seems like it made me. I can't remember word for word what he said, but it kind of made me feel like that. Or she said that, or he's gonna be left behind.
Mhm.
So either he out the door, or he gonna be left behind. But it seems like he ain't with her trying to, take control of her own, life endeavors or whatever.
I feel like if he wants to keep his marriage, he's gonna have to.
I don't think it was part of the plan for him not to be in control.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
This is true.
he got those 1950 ways.
Exactly. Exactly. And that only works until it doesn't work anymore, Yeah.
Yeah, so we start out with the food giveaway at Taste that Latrice is her event that she's doing. She's giving back because of the economy. And she has a state representative there. She has the news there. And so I think there was probably 50 or so cars, and they had these food um, boxes for each one of these people that came. And so at her event, she had Amanda there. So was Selena. She told Selena that she had met with Letitia and that she had invited her to this food giveaway. And basically, they decided to, try to move forward, to, do what's best for the group and try to get along. When Letitia arrives there, she comes with very little. I said, ain't nothing in that box. And she did say how she felt a little weird. And I thought, yeah, look here, Amanda's there. And I would probably feel a little way if I have to look at her.
There we go with Latrice being messy again. Didn't I tell y'all that? Latrice is forever messy. She is too young to be in this group of ladies,
Yeah,
or to be behaving the way that she is. It's interesting that she's gonna have so much to say this coming week or tomorrow on tomorrow's episode about Leticia's friend, but you keep kind of bringing this woman around. Even and whether she's saying anything to Leticia or not is not even the case. It's the fact that that's basically why y'all at odds. You done made it something else, so maybe you forgot.
Because it's like I would feel a little weird too. And
Of
then my
course.
husband's going to be coming there. I'm like, why would you invite me?
And we just sat down and said we was squashing stuff. And then I come to your event and here she go.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's like you made the beef something else. So maybe you forgot that it's Amanda being at your pool party,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she did forget, honey. When my grandmother always say, why tell a lie when the truth will fly? She said, because the lies you can't remember. So maybe,
Exactly.
but yeah, I'm thinking, why is this girl still here? This is the issue y'all had. And I would feel some kind of way. I really would.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
why would you invite me here? Because I don't know what this lady might, try to say again on camera, you know.
Exactly.
So basically, yeah, she says she feels weird. And she also had mentioned in her confessional that she hadn't talked to Glenn since the photo shoot. So, what did you think about? Oh, and all the women attended except for Carrie. Seems like Carrie
Mhm.
had something else to do or something, and Marie arrived late after the fact, but her grandkids had some kind of game that day. So,
Right.
what are your thoughts on this first scene?
Um, well, I I thought it was cool what Treese was doing. Like I said, I thought she was being messy having Amanda there after you just made up with Ticia, or I don't even know if made up is correct, but you at least, agreed to move forward. I'm not sure how that's moving forward, but Leticia didn't make no big deal of it. So, so all ended well.
Yeah. So at the when all the ladies were there, except for Carrie, they had talked about how they had seen each other and, went out for dinner and talked things out and how they wanted to move the group forward. So they were going to plan like a funeral to bury some things or their event. And they wanted the women to come dressed like they were going to a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, in the confessional, they had asked Tambra about her dad. And she said her dad was doing well, and the only one who really contacted her or checked on her daily was Latrice. So the next scene is Glenn and Cliff. They're having their meeting. Seems to be going well. Um, I guess Glenn had concerns, not Glenn, but Cliff had concerns about what Latrice had said that Glenn had got in her face. He said, if that's true. I said, so he knows his wife embellished.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Glenn said he didn't get in her face. And also, Cliff had mentioned what kind of really made him feel away is at the reunion when he said that Glenn said that he thought that Cliff and Latrice was trying to like break up his marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So in the while they're speaking, Latrice brings them a drink, and Glenn was like, "Switch it around."
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was funny. So
Mm-hmm.
it seems like the guys they're moving forward. They don't, they kind of talk about what they need to talk about. They was cool with it. What do you think about him and Glenn?
I
Cliff
thought it was cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the part I love. Marie and Amber. I really like that they have a nice relationship even after the marriage has been dissolved. And that Amber is very candid with Marie about her dad.
Yeah.
And so, she is a straight shooter. They're meeting up at the Hope Studio. They're going to be painting because Amber is into painting. So she was talking to Marie about her dad and basically say, y'all not good together. Her dad is a good dad, but she don't think they work well. And basically, for her to move on, don't get tricked and coming back. And Marie had said that she's on dating apps, and she told her, "You getting the leftovers on them dating apps."
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Them the men that just sit around on
Mm-hmm.
games all day." She said, "You better go to the country clubs, charity events, golfing. Those are where the what you call them, the high quality men are.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, basically, girl, I said I love that girl's hair. So, what did you think about the outing with Marie and Amber?
I thought it was really cute. I like their relationship. I like you say, I like that Amber was very, just honest with her, about her perspective from, what about their relationship, and whether how she thought they should move forward. And yeah, I think she made a great point about getting the leftovers when you online dating. I think that was an excellent point.
So also she told her, she said, gonna put on your red lipstick and your bodysuit and you gonna get a man. I said,
Hmm.
go ahead, girl. But yes, I really love the relationship. You know, she
Hmm.
said Marie had said that she's been in that Amber's life since she was 11 months old. And you know, and she was the one who told her the first time to leave him.
Hmm.
So you know, I like that they still have a relationship after the fact.
Hmm.
Um,
Same.
that is, I think that's cute. You know, plus, you know, Marie does have a daughter with Cedric, so it's nice that they have a bond. That so the
Right.
siblings will still, you know, see each other because you know some people they only like the people as long as they with them, and long as once it's
Exactly.
over with, they ain't got nothing to do with them kids.
Exactly.
You know, say everything bad about them, you know. So I like that they have a good relationship. So our next scene is Leticia and Glenn on their dinner date. So he's dreading to talk about this photo shoot. And he said that Leticia needs to learn how to control her people. Um, she gave first a leave of absence. He says that first should have been fired.
I
And
do agree with that.
yes, exactly. I'm
I
like,
do agree with that. I agree with him about that. Now, should Glenn had shown up the way he did? Maybe not, but I think that's an issue between him and Leticia. You know what
yes,
I'm saying? Like once you come and whatever's going on, yeah, I like and I think uh Tr- Treese said this to her also about the situation. Like I'm riding with man. Like yeah, no, the people you pay don't get to talk to your husband crazy. So yeah, I thought putting the guy on the leave of absence. I thought that was antagonistic of her to do to Glenn.
yes, I think so. Also, I also thought because she said he shouldn't have came, and I thought,
Yeah,
well,
like I said, I could see a place because like you popping up like you even though he said, well, I was coming to be supportive, it didn't seem like because you really did come right in,
he came to be
like
nosy.
you was trying to catch something.
Yes,
And so like I said, maybe you should not have shown up in that manner, but that is separate than how what's the guy name
first.
first how he behaved. And so
Yes,
yeah, he
he
should be
was.
fired, and
Was
then y'all should discuss you popping up in that situation, you know what I mean, separately.
yes,
But I do think that putting that she playing with him, putting the guy on a leave of absence, quote unquote.
yeah. Because I thought, wow, because what was the purpose? Because I think the issue was with the other guy, the investor, and first came over there, you know, getting smart. 'Cause we ain't got to send you no emails and all that. I'm like,
Hmm.
what's going on here?
And even though feel like when I was watching it, I feel like I remember thinking that you know sometimes people overstep, which again is why he probably should be fired,
Mhm.
because it seemed like maybe he came in speaking up, you know what I mean, for Leticia because of conversations
That
that she
she
may
had.
have had.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they wouldn't know. She told
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
she brought up the mess because they wouldn't know what the hell going on in their marriage or how to
Hmm.
come at him. So yeah.
Exactly.
So he was like, she should have checked her friend too. He said he felt like nobody had his back and that everybody wants to make him the bad guy. And basically, Letitia said he should not have came. And then Letitia says he wants to be the victim so bad. She says, I'm so sorry. And she goes, she's sorry for everything. She goes, all the things she's sorry about. She says she just wanted him to be her husband. She's trying to elevate and be what God wants her to be. And he's basically trying to hinder her.
Hmm.
Um, and she just says that you just want to control me, basically. And she said that other girl is gone
Hmm.
and don't want to see her no more. Because when she was that girl, she was miserable.
Hmm.
Um, he ain't liking it.
No.
She told him to respect her boundaries. And she says Glenn may get left. I go, or he may be out the door. So, what did you think about that whole little scene right there?
I thought good for Leticia for, like, speaking up for herself. I also think, like, nobody really talks about what it looks like to grow with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have been married, like, in the same instance the way that they have, where y'all met in high school, and it's been what, 30 some odd years or
Yeah.
so. And so, even like, you're not the same girl that, what I mean, he met while y'all were in high school. You couldn't possibly be, what I mean, like, just
Mm-hmm.
because experience, life,
Yeah.
get older, but
Wisdom.
huh.
I said wisdom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
everything, kids,
Mhm. Yeah.
everything. And so, as two people together, like, say, people don't talk enough about what it looked like to grow together in the same direction. You know what I mean? Like, if one person is okay with everything being where it is, and the other person is, looking for the next, like,
Level. Mhm.
thing, yeah, um, then that, it's not a good recipe.
No, no, because she
Um,
seems like she's a real, evidently she has to be some kind of go getter because she's even on this show.
right, right.
So she's trying to make different moves and she's trying to pull him along with her. I assume he probably makes a good wage at whatever he's doing. Am I froze
Mhm.
again? Did you
You
hear what
better
I
not.
said?
It did freeze. I didn't hear the first part.
Okay. So I said basically she wants to, work smart, not hard. So
Mhm.
get the money, a lot of money, have a legacy money, basically. Whereas
Mhm.
his money is just going to be good this lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, a lot of times I do feel like some guys can be, very stagnant,
Mhm. Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
not willing to grow because he's used to that lifestyle, living
Mhm.
middle class,
Mhm.
and doing what he do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you'd be surprised at how many people are in that place. You know what I mean? And I think that's okay, but it just doesn't mix well if you with somebody who wants to do something else.
Yeah.
So, like I said, good for her for, standing up for herself, just kind of being clear with him. But I do think that she should have fired the guy first.
Yeah.
And I think the leave of absence is not. I don't know. It feels like you playing two sides. You
Yes,
know.
it is.
Yeah. Hmm.
She telling them folks all her business because she said something once to, I mean, I guess she said something to Glenn to kind of make him feel a way about the investor, though. Like,
Hmm.
kind of something a little slick, maybe like he might be a little interested or something, or I can't
Hmm.
remember the exact words. That's why he
Hmm.
came there thinking that, yeah, that guy might want something else, you know.
Right.
So I think she's trying to make him a little jealous.
Right.
And
Probably so.
make him feel away because she had to feel away about Amanda,
Mm-hmm.
So she ain't got bold enough to step out there.
Hmm.
So she wanted him to lose his mind over that. And he did
Right.
act a fool on that episode.
Yes, he did.
First called him sexual chocolate. So our next scene, we got Selena and Mike. And I said, oh, Mike's house look better than Selena's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
So Selena is there, tidying up the house. And she wants to talk to him about, basically, like where they're going to live because she's listening to Marie saying that don't let them keep that place. And Mike basically wants her to move into his house, but she wants a new house. So he said that she needs to see eye to eye with him. She asked him that he still want to get married, and he's like, "What that got to do with this? What, like, why are you asking me that?" What you think about that little scene with them?
I don't know. I don't really pay them much attention because for some reason I don't take them serious. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's the so Gucci of it all.
Maybe so.
You said the way you met her, you just can't get past it.
Yeah, and I don't take them serious. But good luck with that. Um, I don't know. I think if I met someone like, well, I'm old enough now to where it's possible I would meet a guy who would have his own home. Um, I don't. I think I would be okay with moving into a guy's home. Um, but I wouldn't want him to move into my home and keep his home. Like it would have to be one home, you know what I mean? But I think my preference would be that we would find something together. But like maybe that's just not uh financially reasonable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
As long like I think with Marie, Marie has other things. Well, to her point, that's why she wanted him to get rid of the place when they was talking about getting back together. But you got like experiences that go with that place. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If you meet a guy and he just happened to have his place, I mean, whatever was going on, I guess before is whatever was going on, but and hopefully it wasn't too much, you know what I mean. But I think I would be okay with it for the most part.
yeah, I would too. Because I know they're filming the show, but
Hmm.
everybody who gets married, because she already said how much money they about to spend on this wedding. So I'm thinking, why don't you just take that money and if you're really serious and get a house and just,
Hmm.
if that's what you really want. But everyone, especially with this kind of economy, don't have the money if, both of us have a home to just go out and buy a brand new home,
Exactly.
especially with the interest rate and everything else, trying to keep up with the Joneses and all that stuff. When he got a house, she said because his ex-girlfriend used to live there. Well, unless you buying one built up from the ground, somebody else will live in another house too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like say, and I like say, as far as Marie, I understand her situation because I wouldn't. I if I was in the situation where you was with somebody, then you know what I mean. Like you done caught up him cheating at the house and all that type of stuff, that's totally different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Uh-huh. Oh, so that's what happened with.
Well, I assume that I just assume it, like I
Okay.
don't know, but I mean, to her point, that's where he lived whenever y'all was separated. So whoever he was, messing around with, that's where he took him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, that's their whole little issue there. So next we have the funeral. So the women are all coming together and they're coming to bury all of their negative, I guess, energy and stuff, and be what they're supposed to be, not where what Tambra say, this we just hood. We don't there's no sister in it at all. So the women all show up in black, and Carrie shows up in a black short dress for the after party. Letitia says in the confessional that Carrie, Carrie, are you trying to entice the pastor to get the offering? I said, oh goodness. I said, well, look at Carrie coming here with a little short dress on,
Right.
and basically I guess they feel like Tambra does not share enough, and Tambra is basically, she says she want to be be in her safe place, and Carrie said they use use your come on baby now, they use your the things you talk about or your transparency, and they weaponize it, so they use it as ammunition to get back at you on Mad Day.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked Tambra, did she really want to be there?
Mm-hmm.
And so Carrie said, let's just pull the tag up, put a band-aid off. Basically, y'all trying to kick her out.
Right. Because that's what it sounds like to me.
It did too. I was like, damn. Tamara ain't had time. She said, I gotta go. My daughter is in her first something like a recital or something. And we end up with Carrie spilling the beans, after pillow talking with her husband. She heard that Mike got to, father the baby, and there's a baby on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Latrice said, honey, I wouldn't be taking care of no side kids or no outside kids. And Selena said, if that's the case, honey, it won't be no wedding.
Mm.
Now, what do you have to say for that scene there? That's all the notes.
Well, let's see, where do I so with Tambra, I feel like Tambra has been kind of skating through the whole time. Now, when Demond first came around, like I think it was Marie, had came out with something about somebody Demond was seeing, or I think they pulled out somebody that Tambra was seeing because she had a restraining order on the guy. It was just a lot of mess. So again, when she got pregnant, we ain't seen no more Demond, no more. She barely show us the baby, and yeah, she just kind of show up. They might have her host something, and that's what she do. So I agree that when they started talking, it did seem like they was just asking her like it did seem like they was trying to find basically put her out.
Yeah. And Marie said Tamara is only there for prestige. She's only
Mm-hmm.
there to get to know them surface level. So I would, these ladies, they want to know all your business. I mean, like, so I'm trying to figure out, like, when you be a part of this, because they're not really friends. So what all am I supposed to, if I'm in this group, about to be in this group, what all am I supposed to tell them?
I think I understand where you're coming from, but I do think it's kind of like a thing of if my business is out, or if you're gonna come, sit somewhere and ask me about it or have an opinion about it, then you should probably give something for somebody to have an opinion or, you know, has something to say. about also I, like you say, I don't know exactly what, because again, then it becomes like, let's just use Dr. Heavenly for instance. She always like, oh, everything's perfect. Well, then they like, well, no, it's not. Well, let's just say it is. Like maybe they do for some reason figured out a way to not have any drama. So however way they get down, you know what I mean, get through that. So, but again, it's like if it's not what you think you're supposed to hear, you gonna question what you're hearing anyway. You know what I mean? Um, but Tamara don't give anything. I mean, she don't.
So I did like the fact where the women all kind of, when Carrie had explained to them about what's going on with her, about, the business that is struggling, and they all gave her some sound advice.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that part where you can go ahead and talk with somebody or people who have the same type of business mind that you have.
Mm-hmm.
They can see
Mm-hmm.
things that you possibly, like sometimes we can't see it, but other
Mm-hmm.
people that's in the same, that's doing the same thing, or entrepreneurs, they can see like, hey, just cut your losses on this. This doesn't
Yeah,
mean that you fail. You could go on to the next one. Put that energy in the other two.
exactly.
You know, because I didn't see why she needed three in the first place. But
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh, okay, she building an empire, but make sure them two running first really good.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to know the area that you're dealing with. And Mobile is real country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is. So from what I saw of it, it seemed real country to me. So I don't know. But yeah, I like that they gave her that good advice. So, and that she was able to actually take it and, say, okay. So I thought the episode was pretty good. The best part to me was Tisha putting her foot down and Amber telling it like it is.
Basically, yeah. So, so I don't know. I don't know if we gonna see if the Belle's gonna be able to move forward and see how Tambra, takes this meeting and decides to show up further. I think they just want to see her be involved a
Yeah.
little more. But I do understand where she sits because, like I just described, like right, as soon as Demond came into play, y'all had, some stuff about him. As we see, we got some stuff about Michael, or Mike. I
Mm-hmm.
just gave him a whole different name, but which I get is maybe that's par for the course, but I can understand Tambra feeling like she doesn't want to trust them.
Yeah.
But I do think to be on the show, you need to give something. So we'll see how Tambra does moving forward. Because I do think that if she's not gonna give anything, I think she could go.
True. That is true.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, she's just kind of like really a friend of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she
Exactly.
seems to be like a friend of and kind of just come to the cast events, and
Mm-hmm.
seems like her and Latrice are besties, and she made it known that she's the only one who really checked on her. And also when she talked about her postpartum blues, basically no one else checked on her, and she thought that the women that who were mothers would have checked on her, regardless of how they may have, felt about her anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Leticia was like, well, shoot, I had to show up when I had a lot of stuff going on. So, like, basically, what's the difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I said, they working, but I can't wait to see Belle Collective Birmingham.
Birmingham, yeah.
We about to see some rich people. I feel like this Dallas or
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh. It is giving Dallas for sure.
girl, just giving the whole bunch of like money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm
This
looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it
that was
also.
good. Yeah.
So we will be adding the bells to the mix, honey. With Bell Collective. What? Where they at? Jackson. Okay.
Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi. So, honey, going on over there to Alabama. I'm like, oh, I hope I can see my cousins on there. 'Cause my one little cousin, she's a realtor and she lives in Huntsville. And she was made a reel about like stage and stuff. And I was going to ask her, hey, do you know
Right.
the Holtz or the Scotts down there?
Mm-hmm.
You met them people.
Exactly.
But yeah, I said I ain't gonna ask her that dumb shit, but I wanted to ask so bad.
I would ask. Why
You know,
not?
I said because I think they town and it's probably about the same size as Fort Wayne. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know what the racial makeup is, but mostly here, most black people, especially ones who was born and raised here, they all know each other because I'm not saying you might know their families because most people came from Alabama to here. The
Mm-hmm.
grandparents did, and most of them kind of went to the same churches. They always
Mm-hmm.
call Fort Wayne
Mm-hmm.
the city of churches. So there's a church almost on every corner here. So most of the black people, they was already segregated in one area, and most of them know, the families. They always ask, who your grandparents? Who's this? Because
Mm-hmm.
they know, that's how it kind of works. But yeah, that's I am gonna ask her. You know them hoes?
Yeah.
Do you know what is it really like down there?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, because she's been down there. I think Nikki's been there probably at least 10 years. I think when she moved to Huntsville, because I was like, why are you going down there?
Mm-hmm.
But her aunt had moved there, and I guess she went and visited and liked it. So she moved there and got the guy she was going with, and they ended up getting married. And he moved down there too. I said, well, okay, well. So she's been there ever since. So must be
Something.
a
Yeah.
nice little city to raise your kids and stuff like her children are
Well,
doing.
that's what they was said. That's what they said on the show. That's why Kimmy said she was moved there.
Mm-hmm. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what a lot of people moved to Fort Wayne for because it was used to be low crime and cost of living wasn't as high. But girl, honey, here lately,
What'd you say? You
everything
see
is sky high. Girl, Jesus, I'm looking at. Girl, I'd be ashamed to tell people what my mortgage is because it's so
Mm,
low.
mm.
I'm like, what you paying? What, $1,700 for rent? Are you kidding? And the gas that went up to $4.29. Oh, gee,
Yes, honey.
girl. I
Crazy.
that is nuts. But yeah, that's it, girl. I ain't got nothing else. About to get this little baby ready so her daddy can pick her up.
Well, all right then. I guess we will get back here on Tuesday so we can do Married to Medicine Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So hey y'all, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel.
And please comment and
Yeah,
go
comment.
over to her page if you watch Married to Medicine. And did you is the Housewife Awards still going?
Yes. We still got the Housewife Award. So yep, you have to be a subscriber on my page. But subscribe and go over to the community tab and place your votes for the Housewife Awards. We will do I want to kind of do a separate live because I
Yes.
feel like maybe we could do that and then just kind of talk about Atlanta as they coming in because
Yes.
that'll be the end of Married to Medicine and that'll be what we'll be picking up after Married to Medicine. So we'll do the announcements for the Housewife Awards the following Tuesday then.
Okay, then. Yes, because look, I've already been replaying some of the old lives of Housewives of Atlanta. Shoot. Get ready.
Right.
So get ready on my Throwback Thursday. But yes,
Yeah, we'll do it
please.
that Thursday.
So please join us on our next live, which will probably be Tuesday. And until then, we'll see you later.
Yes, yes,
Have a great evening.
yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
All right, y'all.
All right. Have a great evening.
Bye bye.
Bye.